Good morning, this Thursday morning. Let us look at what is trending on the news around the world. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced that tourists from Nigeria can now apply for visas without submitting their passports. The president also disclosed that Nigerian businessmen and tourists who qualified for the process can be guaranteed a 5-year multiple entry visa. Let us look at what these mean in general. Stay with us. Stand up for what is right in an unjust society. Silence is a crime. What South African visa reform mean for Nigeria? South Africa has relaxed visa rules for Nigeria to facilitate travel for business people and tourists. Among the visa reforms, Cyril Ramaphosa, South African president, said that Nigerian tourists can now apply to visit South Africa without submitting their passports. In addition to this, South Africa is offering 5-year multiple entry visas for qualifying Nigerian business people. Ramaphosa said these reforms reflect South Africa's commitment to fostering a better business environment by removing constraints to investments in addressing challenges faced by companies in both countries. Before the reforms, Nigerians had often missed trips and engagements in other countries because the passports were stuck at the South African embassy. The new development would mean that applicants can travel to other countries with their passport while waiting for their South African visa processing. The multiple entry visas mean that a Nigerian traveler can enter and exit South Africa multiple times within a specific period of time. This visa type is a popular choice for frequent travelers because it is more flexible than a single entry visa, which requires reapplying for a new visa each time a traveler wishes to visit. Before now, some Nigerians who qualified for South African visas lamented that they were denied visas by the country's mission even after they had met the requirements. The applicants denied visas include students, investors, and tourists. Against the stipulated wait time of 10 to 15 days, applicants have had to wait for over 1 month to get back their passports. Many of them were eventually denied visas. In 2022, Airpeace suspended flight operations to Johannesburg, South Africa, citing delays in visa approvals. The airline, however, resumed flight operations into the route but reduced aircraft capacity by downsizing from Boeing 77 aircraft with over 300 seats capacity to Embraer E195, which has 124 seat capacity. Moving on. Business Day's findings show that the reduction in seat capacity by Airpeace was connected to the frequent visa denials. Before COVID-19, South African Airways had operated fully booked daily flights to South Africa on its Airbus 33 aircraft, 238 seats capacity. But the situation changed as the airline operates 4 weekly flights from Nigeria to South Africa with not up to 60% load factors. 60% load factors. During this period, Nigerians' applications for South African visas reduced owing to delay and denials, according to travel agents. The development then contributed to the rise in travel to Rwanda and Kenya from Nigeria. With the new reform, travel experts say they hope to see more flight frequencies and more passengers would be issued visas. If the visa reforms become effective, we expect to see good flight frequency. Some Nigerian airlines have gone on these routes before and they had to pull out. Some of them were Virgin Nigeria, Arik Air, and at some point Airpeace. Olumide Ohunayo, industry analyst and the director of research at Zenith Travels, told Business Day. Ohunayo said South Africa's new travel reforms would boost tourism and travel. He envisaged that the airlines would participate and there could be more tourists from Nigeria and South Africa. Again, flights to Australia and New Zealand will become cheaper and faster. So it is a good one if it is well. Ohunayo added. Seyi Adawala, Chief Executive Officer of Mainstream Cargo Limited, told Business Day reforms would see Nigeria and South Africa cooperate and collaborate in trade. Secondly, South Africa has seen the need to allow fairer opportunities for Nigerians to do business with its borders and potentially maybe targeting a certain type of need, Adawale said. He also said the reform may stem the resistance and xenophobic attitude or attacks on Nigerian citizens and avoid future reciprocity. Requirements for entering South Africa include a valid and acceptable passport or travel document for the intended stay, at least one blank page in the passport for endorsement, a valid visa if required, sufficient funds to pay for applicants' day-to-day expenses during his or her stay, a return or onward ticket, a yellow fever certificate if applicant's journey starts or entails passing through the yellow fever belt of Africa on South American. So this is all about that. It's not as if there is something magical or something free. It's just about the passport issue that always been submitted and left there even when the visa is not approved or most times denied. So this is actually a new development to facilitate the you know visa process and make it smooth and faster to enable smooth business relationship between South Africa and Nigeria. Thank you and follow us for more updates. One.